Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for joining me for the surprise fourth and final episode in what I have dubbed Cheese Box Week here on the channel. I have three different cheese boxes that you see in front of you, antique cheese boxes that I use to store my online pickups that I haven't filed away yet into my collection proper. And I've done a bunch of rummages through these in the channel's history. And during this past week, I did a rummage through each of these three. And as a quick recap, the Wilson's box here on the left has COM-C pickups. The Sante cream cheese box in the middle has COM-C and eBay pickups that are a little bit maybe nicer or more expensive than what's in the left box. Still nothing too crazy. And then the box here on the right has nothing but post-playing era cardboard. So modern cards of retired greats of the game. And if you're just catching this, you could go back and look at any of those three individual rummages that I did earlier in the week. But for today, we're going to do a super rummage through all three boxes and kind of see how far we get here. I'll probably do an extended period of time as well, and maybe go a little quicker through each of the cards. So we're going to start with a Sapphire soccer card featuring Sergio Aguero for Manchester City. He no longer plays the game, but was one of my favorite strikers in the Premier League and otherwise during like the 2010s. And this is the first ever Sapphire, Topps Chrome Sapphire soccer set there. So pretty cool Aguero to start us off. We'll stay in the COM-C box for a minute or two, and then we'll switch over. Here's a cool one. This is a second year Juan Soto from 2019 Topps Allen and Ginter. It is the mini, but it's the extended RIP Mini. So it's card number 373, which is a very high number on the checklist. And the way that you would get this card, you could pull a full-size RIP card, which would have this embedded inside of it. And if you chose to rip open the RIP card, you could get one of these extended series minis included. So this is not a very prevalent Juan Soto card for being a second-year Soto. There are not nearly as many of these out there as there would be like his standard mini card from the release. So drawn to that one. I love that Soto. Obviously he's with the Yankees now and having a good start to the season, but always enjoy collecting his cardboard. Next up, sticking in the COM-C box for a minute, we've got an Upper Deck Exclusives hockey parallel from 2018 featuring the now retired Tuukka Rask, longtime goaltender of my hometown Boston Bruins. Love the shot of his mask there. This is him waiting in the hallway prior to entering the rink and getting on the ice surface before a game. But just a cool Bruins card there, numbered to 100, as UD exclusives have been just about every year, going all the way back to like 1998. Let's do at least one other card in this cheese box, and then we'll kind of bounce around a little bit. How about a 54 Bowman Bob Young? I've had quite a bit of 50s Bowman spill out of these cheese boxes. Target these sets in particular when I'm browsing around just looking for cheap singles, just common players or cards that I don't already have. Would love to someday complete the 1954 Bowman set. And Bob Young there gets me one card closer to that eventual objective, and we'll put him up in the background here in front of the Wilson's box. And we'll move on for a couple minutes to the middle box here, the That Good Sante cream cheese box. And here is a sneaky, awesome parallel card. This is the 2018 Christian Yelich from Topps flagship, and it is the Topps Black. I showed one of these of Ebbets Field in a recent rummage from the 2010 Topps release. From 2018 here, the serial numbering increments by one each year. So in 2018, these were actually numbered to 67 copies, so still a pretty tough card. And what drew me to this, three things. The price point was under $10 with free shipping, number one. Number two, this was the MVP year for Yelich. And number three, this is kind of a team color match here with the black background and that Miami alternate uniform. So kind of some black on black there that looks kind of nice. So this was a very recent pickup. Scored this within the last month, I remember. And thought that was a really solid buy at just like, I think it was around $8. So let's go into the back portion of the Sante box. And how about a player who has had a red hot start to the 2024 campaign and one of my favorite players to collect. Getting a lot of background glare on this one, but this is the Bowman's Best Gold Refractor numbered to 50 of Mookie Betts, my favorite active player. has been for a number of years. This particular card is from the 2022 release, and you can see here it's numbered 9 of 50. It's hard for me to resist Mookie Betts gold cards numbered to 50 at a really good price point. And because this is ungraded, and because Bowman's Best is kind of viewed or looked down upon a little bit compared to like a Topps Finest or a Topps Chrome, this card was available very, very cheaply, well under $20, and it may have even been closer to 10. So nice Mookie Betts there to accompany that Christian Yelich. Let's stick with this box for another minute here. And here's another fitting set that has popped out of these rummages, so many times. And this card also could have been stored in the Kraft post-playing era box, but this is the 2023 Topps Chrome Gilded Collection, Willie Mays. And as you can see here, as I tilt it in the light, this is the mini diamond refractor numbered to 50. Really cool card here. Picked this up a little while back, and I do have his 2022 Gilded Mini Diamond out of 50 as well. So this completes my pair. And shout out to my buddy Adam over at Vintage Sanctuary, who I know has both of the Willie Mazes in the Mini Diamond parallel as well, the 2022 and the 2023. So after Adam and I got our fill, there are 48 remaining copies of this maze out there for each of those 2 years for anyone who's interested in tracking one of those down. Love Topps Chrome Gilded Collection, and I hope they keep up with that for 2024. We'll do one more from the Sante box here before we start to bounce around. And this one is a real winner. Quickly becoming maybe my favorite modern parallel, these Topps Independence Day cards. They're always numbered to 76 every year consistently. They were introduced in 2018, so this is a first year Independence Day parallel featuring Justin Verlander, who is I would argue one of the 3 best pitchers of the 21st century, and was really happy to find this. The first 2 years of this parallel, especially 2018 and 2019, are very, very difficult to find. I think it's a combination of them being the first 2 years, them using a really great colorful design that is very obviously a parallel versus a little bit more subtler design in recent years, and then maybe just the passage of time as well. More time has passed since these have been out on the market. And as with any card numbered below 100, they do kind of dry up and disappear into private collections over time. But this Verlander, I was able to get just this last offseason from the inaugural 2018 release. You can see the serial numbering on the back there, numbered to 76. And as I said, a parallel that is just really, really growing on me. I've always enjoyed it, and I've always had a few copies in the collection, but I've really been seeking them out with some intent in recent months and kind of bulking up the Independence Day representation in my modern collection. So I think that was 4 cards each from the ComC and the Sante box. So let's bump over here to the Kraft post-playing era box, and we'll do 4 cards out of this one. And starting us off is one of these great image variations from the Topps flagship set. In this case, the 2020 release. And this is a Carlton Fisk, a reimagined Carlton Fisk, what he would look like on the 2020 Topps flagship design. I did a whole episode recently on these retired legends short prints that have existed in the Topps flagship set, or did exist in the flagship set from like 2009 through 2022, and always looking for more to scoop up and add to the collection. Cool Fisk card there. He's somebody, I feel like I say it often, that has almost no bad looking cards, just a very, very photogenic, and just happens to have amazing looking cards throughout both his career and beyond with his post-playing era. And next up, this is a fitting one to pull after that Fisk. I'm just going to take this tape off here. And in fact, I'm going to take this card entirely out of its top loader. Here's a second consecutive Topps retired legend image variation, this time from 2019 Topps, the year prior to this Carlton Fisk. We have Thurman Munson. Great image there that I don't see all that often. Very notable player, one of the best of the 1970s, and a card that really spoke to me. I'm just a fan of these variations regardless, but this one in particular had an image that I thought was fantastic. So a couple of those retired legend short prints to start us off. And next up, this one is a a total winner. I adore this card. I've been waiting to pull this out of the box. It's been in there a long time. Probably bought this card at least 8 or 9 years ago, maybe somewhere in that time frame. It's the Stadium Club Dennis Eckersley with his giant mascot here, and I'm a sucker for mascot cards. Eckersley, a Hall of Famer who was a longtime color commentator for the Red Sox as well, so heard him call a lot of games, and the image here is all time, and as you've undoubtedly noticed, as I hold it up here, there's a ton of shine going on, and this is another parallel that I have featured quite a few times recently. It is the Rainbow Foil Board parallel out of Stadium Club, and these are always numbered to just 25 copies. So if we look on the back here, I've got copy 22 of 25 of this really awesome Ek card. I've been picking up a lot of these Rainbow Foil Board Stadium Club parallels in recent years. Obviously, I've done it for a while because this one is years old, but this past winter kind of renewed my focus on these. I love the combination of Stadium Club photography and the scarcity of the serial numbering to 25, plus some excellent shine. So those are right up my alley for so many reasons. And then let's do a fourth and final one for now from the post-playing era box. And how about this 2011 Topps Diamond Anniversary Hank Aaron? I've said it plenty of times before, but for my money, the 2011 Topps set had the best parallels of any set that Topps has ever put out. I love these Diamond Anniversaries. There are also the Cognac Diamond Anniversaries, which have that cognac color to them, and the Hope Diamond, the blue ones that are numbered to 60. And I think there's even a Canary Yellow 1 of 1. I don't own any of those, but just a killer Hank Aaron card. Not only is the shine amazing, but the foil work in the nameplate and the team area down here, that's not really coming across on video, but trust me, the foil work is very, very impressive. And these are amazing cards in hand. And I love that the parallel treatment, back in 2011 was applied to these Retired Legends short prints as well. So this Hank Aaron is a Retired Legend short print in the same order as this Thurman Munson, but you won't find a parallel of Thurman Munson's card, for example, in 2019. There's just this base image variation and that's it. And in 2011, I love that they extended the parallels to cover these Retired Legends. So awesome card there of Hammer and Hank, and we'll put that one front and center here, just being one of my favorite 21st century parallels, or really parallels from any era. Let's keep going here. I want to make this an extended edition. We're at about 12 minutes. Let's go into the Com C box, and here's a winner. Check out this relic card of Brendan Shanahan with the New Jersey Devils. These are, I've shown plenty of these off before. They are my favorite hockey relic to collect. They're from a set called Upper Deck Ingrained, and the subset or the insert set for these is called Ingrained Remnants. And what these feature are hockey stick relics. So this is a portion of Brendan's actual hockey stick chopped up and put into this card. And as I always try to do with relics, try to find some that have a more interesting relic piece or something that's got some character to it. So here we have like a letter S, which is very fitting for Shanahan, and also like an O there as well cut off. So I'll have to, I sometimes look back through photos and my cards of these players and see if I can actually find a photo that shows this exact portion of the stick. It's always cool when you can do that. But great character on these, and these are probably my overall favorite hockey relics that I've ever collected. I just love this, the look of this set, the foil work, and they have some really, really interesting stick relics included. Let's do another Com C one here. And how about a football card? First one of today's episode, a 50s Bowman release. I believe this is 55 Bowman. We have Lyndon Crow, rookie halfback for the Chicago Cardinals. And I don't know anything about Lyndon or 50s football really at all, but I've always been drawn to this set. I just think, it's cool to collect cards that are that old in the football realm, just like it is in baseball, even if I don't really know the players or the stories like I do in baseball. And I always loved like the angelic glow effect that was applied to these oversized 55 Bowman footballs. So random one there that I didn't expect to come out of the box. Let's go to the Sante Cream Cheese box for a second. And how about this? To accompany that Hank Aaron card, we have a parallel of an active player from that same parallel in 2011 Topps, the Diamond Anniversary or Platinum Diamond Anniversary. So I got this nice Miggy to go alongside the retired Hank Aaron. Miggy was obviously an active player at the time, although he's now retired. And he's someone who was actually talking to a hobby buddy about this recently. He doesn't seem to get a lot of love, or as much as he should in the hobby, outside of Lisa Z, of course, who I'm sure will see this and comment. But overall, he seems to me to be lost in the shadow of Pujols and Ichiro, which is, understandable to an extent, but very solid player that you can acquire cheaply. And I actually just bought another copy of this exact card on ComC because it was $1.50. And I just couldn't get over that. So I have another of these Miggies currently sitting over in my inventory at ComC. Let's go to the post-playing era box here. And we have our second 2023 gilded card of the Rummage, and it's another mini diamond numbered to 50. We saw earlier the Willie Mays with the Giants, and now here with the Padres, we have Dave Winfield. The Winfield, it won't surprise you, was a much cheaper acquisition than the Mays. I think I got this, if I recall, for around $12. So I know Dave Winfield is not highly collected among Hall of Famers, but I'm a huge believer in the gilded set, and if I can get these big name players in the mini diamond parallel numbered to 50 for a price point that low, it's kind of hard to resist. And I think the color scheme for gilded works amazingly well with this color scheme at the time that the Padres used and this old school Friars logo there. I just really, really, really love this card. Probably one of my favorite Dave Winfield cards in my collection, and I don't have too many cards of the man, but this one would probably make my top 5 if I were to rank them. So cool Winfield there. Let's do another post-playing era. And how about a Stadium Club card? This is a members only parallel from the 2022 release, and it shows Brooks Robinson, the human vacuum cleaner, doing what he was known for best, fielding a ball, a grounder it looks like here at third base. And I'll keep it brief on this one, but I do go after these members-only parallels because they kind of harken back to the early days of Stadium Club, and they're also case hits. So although they're not numbered, they're pretty tough to pull. And so a lot of times you'll get sellers who don't really realize what they have, and you can win these for just $1 or $2, even though they are, really, really tough to find in the wild. So happy to have that Brooks Robinson. Let's go back to the ComC box for a card or two. And we'll go to the vintage baseball here, the 1950s from the 53 Bowman color release. Granville Hamner is his full name, I believe. Familiar with him from other sets of the era, but didn't recognize him from the photo alone. But I've shown actually a few now of these 1953 Bowman colors. Let's get this out of the penny sleeve in recent weeks, and it's a set that I love every single card from. I mean, the only reason I haven't tried to go after this set, there are some really tough cards on the checklist, and I just have too many other hobby priorities. But if I see one for a couple bucks that's at least not horribly centered and has good visual appeal, it's really, really hard to pass these up. Let's jump over to the middle box now, and how about a Kylian Mbappe card? I'm going to take this one out of the case as well. From 2020 Topps Finest, we have the purple, which is almost like a team color match here to the Paris Saint-Germain kits. The purple refractor Kylian Mbappe. I believe this is serial numbered to 200 and something, 250. And another thing I love about this is the same design that Topps used for Finest in baseball in 2020. So I pulled like a Justin Verlander gold refractor that's on this same design earlier this week from one of these cheese boxes. And now I can put this purple Kylian Mbappe right alongside it. And even though they're two different sports, they match up perfectly. So I love that cross-sport design. And of course, Mbappe is my favorite active footballer on the planet. So really happy to see that card spill out of the box. Let's go, let's stick with the Sante box. We'll keep going for another couple minutes here. And how about a Luke Skywalker gold numbered to 50? This is from the first ever Topps Star Wars high-tech release, which came out in 2015. And really cool here to have the main protagonist from the initial trilogy on the gold numbered to 50 from this release. He is card number 1 on the checklist. So this is kind of the first ever Topps, Tech Star Wars card. Number 1 on the checklist in the very first set. And it is the gold, a little tough to make out, but gold numbered to 50 here. Big fan of this. I've shown recently, I've got the Darth Vader gold from this and also the Emperor. So it's nice to have a good guy here to put alongside those. And they would make actually a nice display, putting out the Luke Skywalker, the Vader, and the Emperor all out on my hobby desk here. All right, let's do another 5 minutes. We're going to push it to a full 25-minute rummage today. Let's go back to the ComC box for a moment. We have a Leon Draisaitl, who is active now in the NHL playoffs with the Oilers. This is a silver foil card. The way you would get one of these, you would accumulate 10 of these base cards in Upper Deck ePack, the app on your smartphone. I don't participate in that myself, but if you get 10 copies of a player's base card in that app, you can exchange them for one physical copy of their foil card that's actually part of your ComC inventory and can then be shipped home to you. So I just bought this on ComC, but whoever sold it to me originally obtained it by converting those ePack cards into a physical card. Let's do the Sante cream cheese box again here. And got another Mookie Betts, our second of the episode, and our second Bowman's Best Mookie Betts at that. This one is an earlier career card with his time on the Red Sox, and it's an atomic, as you can see on the front, from 2017. So Mookie played with the Sox through the 2019 season, and I am a sucker for that atomic look and feel. This top loader's a little bit dusty that the seller shipped it in, but I'll get this cleaned up after the video today, and this is going to look really, really nice. And a brand new top loader with a superior fit sleeve on it. Let's do the post-playing era box again here. And we got another football card. We had one vintage football card, and now we have a modern one from Select Football. It is Drew Bledsoe, the predecessor to the great Tom Brady here in New England. And Drew could sling the ball. He was a really fun quarterback to watch, and ran across this on ComC for really cheap coin and thought it would make a fun addition to my Football Z folio. I love Select and Prism from Panini. They're colored parallels, so this will mix right into that section of the Football Z. Also from the Retired Players box, this case has a great card in it. This is an insert set that I've been working on for a while on the hockey front. It is the Panini Prism Immortalized release. And look at the etching on this card from Panini, like through the Stanley Cup here. Even the names on the cup, the rings of the cup itself, Brodeur's face mask, like the way the lighting just catches on this card. I mean, amazing, amazing job by the folks at Panini. I adore this set. I think it's a 20-card release, and I am attempting to get all 20 cards. However, I'm trying to get them in Prism format. So if you notice, this is like a refractor. There are base versions of this card, and the way that you can tell them apart, aside from the amazing shine here that you just wouldn't get on a base version, on the back of the card, under the card number, these actually say the word Prism, which means it is a silver Prism parallel of this insert card, which is what gives it that amazing shine. So I'm trying to collect all 20 of these in a silver Prism, which is kind of a tall order, but for today, we'll add Hall of Fame goaltender and one of the best of his generation, Marty Brodeur. Let's do one or two more cards here, and then we're going to wrap it up. Have a vintage buyback here from 1970 originally, and then included as a box topper in 2019 Topps Heritage, Clay Kirby for the San Diego Padres with that giant buyback stamp there. Love that. And this one will be evaluated to see if it makes slot number 79 in my buyback Franken set. All right, let's do the Sante box here for another card. Got just a loose 51 Bowman Eddie Robinson in there, kicking around, not even in a case or anything. Bought a stack of 5 of these commons, kind of in rougher shape, a little bit of a wax issue on the back. But, overall, a card that presents nicely from one of my favorite vintage sets. We saw a 53 Bowman color earlier. Now we have a 51 with this Eddie Robinson. And then let's do another pick from the Sante box here. And what'll probably be our final Mookie Betts card for the day from 2022 Topps Finest. This is the team color matching for the Dodgers blue refractor. numbered on the back out of 150, which I wish all blue refractors were. I love the 150 serial numbering for a blue refractor. That's how I think of them. And of course, great image here of Mookie. And what drew me to this was cheap price point, good shine, favorite player, and team color match. And then let's go to the retired box here, and we're going to close it out. This will be the final card for today's Mega Rummage from 2019 Stadium Club. This is the Sepia Jackie Robinson. And I've shown the base version of this card before, but it is one of my favorite photos that exists of the man who broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball back in 1947, signing here for the fans. Love this image, and I really like how it looks on this particular parallel with that kind of old faded sepia tone applied to it. Just really, really works well. Not a numbered card, not an impossible card to track down by any means, but not an easy card either. So happy to have that one. And since we're at almost 26 minutes here, we're going to wrap it up there. But thank you so much if you stuck it out for the super rummage here across all 3 cheese boxes, or if you watched any of the individual rummages this past week. I will continue to use these for card storage going forward, so there will be some more rummages later on in the year throughout these boxes, but I'll probably lay off a little bit in the coming weeks, having just had a whole week of nothing but this, and focus on some other content instead. So I'll be back soon with some of that, but in the meantime, I hope you're all enjoying the hobby. Take care.